A very good evening and thank you so much for watching Uctv News. My name is Nora Sender to bring you the bulletin. It is Monday, the 17th of June 2024. Today we start off with UPDF. Now, the UPDF Deputy Defense Public Information Officer, Kanodeo Akiki, has come out to rubbish claims in a report published by the UN Group experts, alleging that the UPDF is supporting the M23 alongside other militia groups that's in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Once again, like it has been before, some actors called the experts on DRC have issued a report or released a report implicating UPDF allegedly for supporting M23 and some other rebel groups in DRC. This is not true. In any case, we shouldn't have been operating with DRC Army, the FRDC, on ADF or against ADF and Operation Shuja. We wouldn't be the ones under the East African Community Regional Force that operated in Eastern DRC to make sure that peace comes in that part of the world. So whoever raises a flag that we are supporting dissidents in DRC must be having other reasons why he's doing this. All of these reports issued since that time have no any iota of peace, and they always issue them without any evidence implicating UPDF as supporting dissidents in Congo. These reports, we need to ask ourselves, why is it that they come out when our diplomatic engagements with Congo, when our relationship with Congo is at its highest? To date, we are having operations against the ADF together with the Congolese army. We are doing infrastructures. The government is doing infrastructures in DRC in collaboration with the DRC government to make sure that the trade between our people and the people of DRC can go on very well. Why these reports come now to make sure that they jeopardize this? That raises very many questions, and we don't know yet why such reports come up. We advise that anybody who wants to know about DRC should ask us. We know much more about DRC, Eastern DRC, more than these people who are writing seated in the chairs somewhere. So we are not going to give up. We shall continue focusing ourselves on the reasons why we are in Congo, why we are operating with Congo, to make sure that the East African region, the Congo, Eastern Congo, and indeed the entire of Africa is stable.
The National Economic Empowerment Dialogue, NED, has lashed out on government over selective implementation of the law while evicting people living in Lubiji wetland. While addressing journalists today at the party headquarters in Lubaga, Moses Matovu, the party spokesperson, said the government has shown its selective demolition when it demolished all properties of the poor and left other structures that were built in the wetland.
It's just unfortunate that we have witnessed a selective application of the law when it comes to enforcing NEMA laws and regulations. Some time back, we saw some problems with our bridges. Remember, was it last year? The Katonga Bridge sank in. It was because of the pressure that water created around that bridge as a result of rice growing in that area and sand excavation. Mbale witnessed some floods, especially in that industrial park. Recently, Masaka Road around Chengera, also the road sinking. Why? Because of land filling and those big tanks around there. Those fuel tanks. So now, we get problems whenever such things come. However, this is our observation. While not enforcing their laws, they are doing it selectively. The rich and the poor are not getting the same treatment. When we are abroad, when we are demolishing those houses, some houses were left, others were demolished, but in the same area. Giving an argument that maybe, for example, there is it Starbucks, Kombucha factory, I think even with the police posts around, they were not affected. And the reason given was those ones have a certificate. But as sound Ugandans, we are very much alive to the fact that most of these certificates are awarded as a result of corruption. We are addressing an issue to do with environmental conservation. First of all, we would like to sympathize with those people whose properties were destroyed by NEMA. We are sorry for them. However, this should come to their attention that as we conserve the environment, there are innumerable benefits ranging from natural water filtration or purification of water that we use. It is done through the processes in the wetlands. So we need to conserve the wetlands. We need not to destroy them. Two, these wetlands and forests help in formation of rainfall through the processes I want to go through. And then they help us in tackling the flooding, the flooding problem. So it's very imperative and important that we conserve the environment, we keep our forests, we keep the wetlands.
The Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, has called for an amendment on the 2024-2025 national budget if it's to benefit Ugandans. Speaking at the FDC, Deputy Spokesperson Richard Muyombya says that the increment of the budget from 52 trillion to 72 trillion was not necessary, with such things such as travels, classified expenditures that should be revised.
As the party, we are much concerned about the budget read by Mr. Kasaija Matia on Thursday last week. The budget read tuned to 72 trillion from the 52 trillion of the last financial year. This means 20 trillion has been added in this coming financial year of the national budget. But the big question is, where do we get the money from? The most important thing. So we believe that the 20 trillion added in our national budget, it is abnormal. It is abnormal, and the Ugandan should get ready to be squeezed to zero distance, according to the budget read by Mr. Kasai. Why? When you look at the domestic revenue to be corrected, 31 trillion to be corrected from Ugandans. That is the domestic revenue. As FDC, we don't discourage people from paying taxes. We do encourage them. And in fact, Ugandans have been obedient in paying taxes. For example, we pay taxes like pay as you will eat. You know, pay as you will eat. Yeah? Pay ye. Yeah, that money is given to Museveni. Pay as you will eat. We are paying that money. How much? When you calculate a worker like me, at the end of the year, I pay around 15 million. A single year. But pay, we have given it to Museveni. But we move on poor roads. There is no medicine. Some services are not given to us. When you go to government departments, there is a lot of bribe. Give cheat to Dogo to do ABCD. So, Mr. Matia Kasaija was not unfair to give that budget, to present the budget of 72 trillion. Yet the country, we do receive poor services. So we believe that the budget presented on Thursday last week, it is putting our economy on three-wheel drive. Why? By the end of the year, last year, 2023, the public debt was about 93.3 trillion. But Mr. Matia Kasaija has already projected to us, by the end of this month, we shall be having 97 trillion public debt. What does it mean? That the NRM government is running this country in a deficit economy. They're running it in a deficit economy. So for us, we believe that there are some few things that should be removed from this budget. They are not necessary for this country. Why do you squeeze Uganda to that extent? From 52 trillion to 72, yet we are seeing some people being given service award, but there's no medicine. People are given money to move wherever they want. So they should check on that. The budget presented, they should remove some few items to fit in our budget as a country.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after the break.
Uctv, good news for all.
Catch incredible stories of resilience, success.
You can manage that money.
With a topping of inspiration.
Get interested in people, not interested in yourself.
Inspire, achieve, repeat.
Uctv, good news for all.
And welcome back from that break. Now, the Uganda police has noticed an increase on attacks and obstruction of police officers on duty across the country. While addressing a Security Weekly presser at Naguru headquarters, the spokesperson, Fred Enanga, revealed that the increment has prompted the closure of a police post in Kole district following a scuffle between the officers and citizens in which one Obua Stephen was shot dead.
According to police spokesperson Fred Denang, there has been a continuous increase in obstruction and attacking of officers on duty by civilians recently across the country, with the most significant one having led to a decisive closure of the Barapok village police post in Kole district, following a scuffle orchestrated by a one OPU, who mobilized a group of citizens and attempted to grab a suspect from the police cells, upon which officers fired live ammunition that claimed the life of a 57-year-old Stephen Obua.
Process of preventing the detention of the suspect, they assaulted our police officers, Corporal Okelo and another one, and of course our officers fired several warning shots. Unfortunately enough, one of the shots got Obua Stephen, a 57-year-old a peasant of Barapok cell, and fatally wounded him. Very unfortunate. But because the violence was too much, we got reinforcement from Lira City and managed to quell the situation.
It is on this ground that Enang sounded a stern warning to the members of the public to desist from such acts of impunity, citing that police is an institution mandated to promote rule of law.
The police is there to promote rule of law. We are not there to be fought against. You cannot have a criminal or a suspect brought to police and at the same time you want to dictate over how a suspect should be processed at the police.
On the other hand, he dismissed what he referred to as a malicious baseless media report published by Spy Reports, indicating that the new appointed Inspector General of Police had rejected the office, as he explains.
But anyway, we know these are baseless allegations. This is a media outlet that has always indulged in tarnishing the reputation of a number of institutions, including police. I believe they were trying to seek attention from the new leadership and blackmail them. Some of them, of course, thrive out of blackmail, but the police is a rule-bound institution with very strict administrative policies. And I want to assure you that the new leadership is not swayed at all by the orchestrated propaganda from Spy Report. So we've given them opportunity to withdraw that statement, pull it down, and we demand an apology from them. And the Directorate of Legal has been given a go-ahead to pursue them further in the courts of law if they are not compliant.
Joseph Kabale, UCTV News.
Now, in the same light, in regards to police, the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety has announced a joint crackdown together with the military that's against indisciplined VIP vehicle drivers. The revelation has been made by the Directorate spokesperson, Michael Kananura, while speaking to journalists today in Kampala.
Kananura's revelations come shortly after the Uganda People's Defence Force moved to arrest all military vehicles drivers and state house staff who flout traffic regulations under the pretense of running emergency rounds.
The reason for our soldiers being on the road is specifically to assist the traffic police to make sure that there is discipline on the road. Complaints came up about some of our drivers and some officers, individuals who were driving badly on the road. So it is to reinforce police to ensure that these people who have been driving carelessly on the road drive well, following the standard operating procedures of how a soldier driver should drive on the road, following the traffic rules. It is also intended to confiscate all of those people who drive civilian vehicles having military jackets, military uniforms in their cars when they are not supposed to have them. It will also enforce other standard operating procedures as laid down by our traffic department in the UPDF to ensure that the guidelines and the procedures on how military vehicles are driven by who, having which qualifications, are all followed.
Kananura acknowledged this development and as well highlighted on the category of vehicles entitled right of way, as he explains.
There is a joint operation by traffic and military police due to increasing misuse of road by VIPs who have escort pickups driven by army and police drivers who disregard traffic regulations. They move as if they are on emergency, even when they are not. Emergency in here is defined under section 123, subsection 5B, of the Traffic and Road Safety Amendment Act 2020 as a serious, unexpected, and dangerous situation requiring immediate action. So someone who is going to office, someone who is leaving office, someone going to a function, someone going for a burial, that one can never be regarded as an emergency. And many others, of course. The authorized emergency vehicles, as per section 123, subsection 5A of the Traffic and Road Safety Amendment Act 2020, means vehicles for the purposes of police, fire brigade, ambulances, the military motor vehicles of the armed forces, and such other motor vehicles, trailers, or engineering plant as may be designated by the minister in consultation with the chief licensing officer by statutory order.
The road safety being each and everyone's responsibility, and most of these acts of impunity being committed out of the enforcer's side, he called upon members of the public to embrace reporting errant road users to police for appropriate action.
We encourage the public to share such offenders on social media platforms, because in most cases you people are in areas where these vehicles are passing and where there are no law enforcers, traffic officers or military police. So you can also reach out to us on our toll-free number to report such cases on 0800 199 099, or reach out to our WhatsApp number, which is 077 99 9999.
In the past week, road accidents have claimed 82 lives, of which 32 were motorcyclists, 26 pedestrians, 10 motorcycle passengers, 4 vehicle passengers, 3 bicycle riders, and 311 injured. Joseph Kabale, UCTV News.
In a concerning development, Toro District Main Hospital is facing critical shortage of essential medical supplies and severe staffing gaps, leaving patients stranded and healthcare workers struggling to provide proper treatment. We have more details in this report. The Toro General Hospital, which serves a population of over 2 million people in Bukedi sub-region, and some coming from as far as Western Kenya, have been grappling with a series of crises for months. Patients visiting the facility are often forced to purchase their own medical essentials before they can receive attention, as the hospital's store shelves are largely empty. The hospital is also understaffed, with only 170 staffs deployed against the required 346. This shortage has put immense pressure on the existing healthcare workers, who are struggling to keep up with the influx of patients.
As you see, all that line which is there is waiting for me, one person. That one, they should have a pass, and they will keep quarreling us, so we are delaying them.
There is some willingness from our health workers to offer the service, but what they need as the equipment, the materials, are not readily available.
According to the hospital medical stores, the last time they received a supply of essential drugs was 4 months ago.
For us, we last received on the 2nd of February, and that was cycle 3 and 4. So we are expecting cycle 5 and cycle 6.
The situation is equally dire at the lower level health facilities in the district, where staffing gaps remain a significant challenge. At Mokujo Health Center 4, for instance, the medical staffs were visibly overwhelmed by the number of patients seeking medical care. This dire situation has not only affected patients, but also the healthcare workers themselves, who are forced to attend to patients without any protective gear.
The patient will think you have, but we are sending them. Yet you do not have.
All our patients have to buy right from gloves, syringes, the drugs, everything they are buying.
When any patient comes here to a doctor or a nurse, prescription is okay. But now, we don't have those things to give you. What we do, we just tell you, now, we don't have this, it's out of stock, but can you make any pass, you can go buy.
As the healthcare crisis deepens, the people of Toro are pleading with the government to prioritize the health sector and provide the necessary resources to ensure their community receives the care they desperately need.
Whoever is in charge of supplying here drugs, try and bring. That's why we were found there yesterday, 2 children died. There was nothing to be given to them, and the parents didn't have any money.
The supply that the government brings to the hospital takes only 3 days, maximum 4 days.
Nora Osende, Opio for Uctv News. Well, thank you so much for still staying with us. We are taking a quick break. We'll be right back.
Uctv, good news for all.
You are watching Uctv, good news for all. For this and more, tune in to Kasese Get Radio 100.5 in Western Region, located at the hill of the Diocese of Kasese. KGR brings you all Catholic programs and an advertising platform in all our radio shows like Good Morning Renzori, Chama Toboka, Ukute, the business show, Propeller, the request show and sports, Evaluation, Bahinga Bakuluka, Late Night Show, and many others. Our other services include Isuzu Tipa, a Noah car, public address system, live band, Omokekera, an audio recording studio, and outside live broadcast. For more information, call 0773 597 166 or visit our website www.kasesegatradio.com. Kasesegat Radio, Omusondoria, the voice of truth.
Uctv, good news for all.
Welcome back from that break. Thank you so much for staying with us. Holy Cross Lakeview Secondary School has launched its Scientific Innovation and Creative Education Program in collaboration with alumnus Dr. Monica Idiobe. Dr. Monica Idiobe is one of the youngest Ugandans, actually, with a PhD in Aerospace Engineering, which he earned at the age of just 29. He expressed his commitment to enhancing research and building a robust foundation for future generations through this initiative. The event was held at the school's premises in Jinja, where a variety of students showcased their innovations in science. Dr. Monica Idiobe attended Holy Cross Lakeview Secondary School in Jinja, Uganda from 2008 to 2013, where he pursued his O-level and A-levels. During his time at school, particularly in 2012 and 2013, his passion for science and engineering became evident through his participation in school-organized science fairs. Demonstrating his innovative spirit and technical aptitude, Dr. Idiobe designed and constructed a simple and controlled helicopter using locally available low-tech materials.
At the undergraduate level, you learn everything, which is designing and building. By the way, I specialize in actually aircraft design and manufacturing. Yes, I can be or offer some recommendations for repairs, but that is not really my specialization. And at an undergrad level, you learn how to design passenger aircrafts, like the one that flew me from the US to here.
In 2015, Dr. Monica Idiobe joined Oklahoma State University in Stillwater, United States of America, where he pursued dual degrees in aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering, demonstrating his dedication and aptitude for these disciplines. In 2020, he graduated with a Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering from the same institution, where he later pursued a PhD, beginning his doctoral studies in January 2021. Dr. Idiobe successfully completed his PhD in Aerospace Engineering in May 2024, making him one of the first Ugandans to earn this distinction at the age of 29. He expressed his commitment to sharing his skills and knowledge with those in Uganda, reflecting his dedication to contributing to his home country's development.
It's a little bit narrowed down, and at my master's level I was looking at unmanned aerial vehicles or systems that you guys commonly know as drones, and I was looking at the aerodynamics. So when I came to my PhD, just as a medical doctor specializes to become a neurosurgeon, if you're doing your PhD in aerospace engineering, you can also specialize. And my specialty is in aircraft noise, which is known as aeroacoustics. When I was going to the United States, I remember telling myself that I will come back and share the skill sets I've learned abroad here in Uganda, because not everyone is unfortunately going to be able to go to the United States to learn the sophisticated skills, right? But we can bring a piece of that to Uganda, and I think that's what Holy Cross Lakeview is already doing. And as Father just briefly hinted on it, we will be having an MOU which will allow me to download some of the skill sets I have learned during my journey of aerospace engineering to the students down here at Holy Cross Lakeview.
His aim is to make the science fair impactful for students by emphasizing documentation, ensuring that information and innovations are shared for future generations.
How do we make this science fair impactful to the student? So we do not develop a science, a technology, and just let it go. We will be looking at documenting these projects that are done, and we intend to share this information with the future generation. One of the culture in the developed countries, I was fortunate to have the opportunity as an undergrad to do research. The number one thing about research is if you do research and you don't publish it, or you don't have that information out there, you're wasting time. So the next time someone wants to solve the same exact problem you just solved, they will have to start afresh. But we believe at Holy Cross Lakeview, through this MOU, we will start teaching our students how to do research, how to conduct research, and even how to publish the papers that they get out of these projects. So future generations can start from where the current generation has been doing.
Founded in 1993 by brothers and priests of Holy Cross Lakeview Secondary School aims to educate students to become global citizens with the competency to see and encourage to act, to teach minds, touch hearts, and transform lives. According to the head teacher, Father Atukwasi Prosper, the school is committed to offering quality education that is affordable for all people in society.
We as the Holy Cross missionaries, we are preparing young people for better times than ours. So when you look at the young people, we want them to have the best more than what we've had. That's why you've seen we've made this kind of investment. So as a congregation and as a school, we are ready to invest any resources to make sure that our learners get the best.
Dr. Monica Idiobe is an accomplished aerospace engineer working for Boeing Company in the United States, specializing in aeroacoustics. That's the study of noise generated by aircrafts and its components. Committed to giving back to the community, Dr. Idiobe leverages his expertise to contribute to the advancements in Uganda.
I am employed currently, and my employer is based in the United States. That's Boeing. Boeing is one of Boeing is one, if not the largest aerospace engineering company in the entire world. Boeing builds passenger aircrafts, Boeing builds military aircrafts, Boeing builds rockets, Boeing builds satellites, Boeing builds submarines. So I am already employed, and I am just getting from the little I earn to say, let me give back to my community.
Dr. Mwanika's passion for science and engineering shone through when he participated in the science fairs organized by his school. According to the head teacher, Dr. Atkwase Prosper, it was the school's environment that enabled him to explore and develop such creativity.
Today we are celebrating Dr. Mwanika. His idea of aerospace was conceived in the science fair 15 years ago. And this is an example of what the children are able to produce if they are empowered. So even before the government thought of the new curriculum, for us as a school, we had already came up with the science fair to enable the children identify their talents. If the science fair was not organized at that time, maybe we would have had him in another area, would not have celebrated him as a aerospace engineer, because in that science fair, he was able to come up with a helicopter. So later when he joined the United States, Oklahoma State University, they built on the foundation we had given him here.
The school also launched a scientific innovation and creative education program in partnership with its alumnus, Dr. Monica Idiobe. This initiative aims to strengthen the annual science fair program tailored to mentor students' gifts and capabilities in science and innovation. During the launch, students also showcased some of their science innovation.
Our drone specifically at this moment is meant to levitate itself. As you can see, my friend over here is busy testing the motors. This right here is called Arduino Uno. It works as the brain of the drone.
Now, young people across the country have been called upon to be advocates for the rights and welfare of the elderly. According to Malaika Gabriela Langimi, the Executive Director of Jehovah Live for the Old Age, young people have a pivotal role to play in ensuring that the elderly are treated with dignity and respect. This call comes at a time when Uganda joined the rest of the world on Saturday to commemorate the UN World Elderly Abuse Awareness Day, and is still grappling with the rampant cases of gender-based violence against the elderly.
Involve our men and boys, because you know, men have been really abused in their old age. So as they are growing up, we have involved them in day-to-day activities of the community, and then we have to have the sensitization, community sensitization on the importance of these older persons. Also, we have to create awareness both at community level, at local level, at national level, at district level. We live in the gender-based violence survivors. Yeah, just to avoid the stigma. We have like sexual abuse, we have physical abuse. Most of these older persons who are victims, they tend not to come out and say that we were abused. So what they do, they tend to hide out. So we have to have programs for gender-based violence survivors. The health people at the community level, we should have daily program that is capacity building and advocacy at community level, at district level, at national level. This will really help to raise more voices against the older persons' abuse.
To work on revised older persons policy 2024, and we said we must accompany it with the laws to make it effective. That is not only policy, but it will have the accompanying laws, and these laws will come in the older persons amended bill. It will cater for everything, issues to do with land, issues to do with abuse, will be fully catered for.
Increment, we are trying to make it, we had asked for 50,000 per head, but I think they will give us about 35. We don't know as yet, but we asked for it.
The Minister for State for Youth and Children's Affairs, Honorable Balam Barugahara, has emphasized the critical need for a skilled labor force in the country so as to bridge the country's unemployment gap, underscoring Uganda's transformative journey from importation to production. He delivered this message at the graduation ceremony of students at the Don Bosco Institute in Kamuli. The graduation ceremony at Don Bosco Vocational School in Kamuli began with a joyous Holy Mass celebration. Parents and invited guests gathered eagerly awaiting the commencement of the ceremony. The school compound was filled with diverse groups of attendees, including priests and political leaders from the region and nationally. During his address, the Minister for State for Youth and Children's Affairs, Honorable Balam Barugahara, highlighted Uganda's shift from importation to production, emphasizing the nation's growing need for a skilled labor force.
As a country, you are aware, we are evolving from export country to now a production country, a country which needs labor force, skilled labor force. So as Uganda now, and emphasis Jose is putting, he wants many of you to be skilled so that you can work in the factories that have been set up. As of now, yesterday the President mentioned that we have 8,000 factories that have already been established. In Kamuli, I think there are only 2, sugarcane, but we should also have a cassava factory soon, and all the other factories will be things that you grow most.
Adding to his remarks, Honorable Balam Barugahara underscored that acquiring these skills would play a crucial role in addressing the widespread unemployment issues in the country.
And this will help in reducing unemployment. The more skilled force that you have is the more you close the gap of unemployment. Because you can now apply for a job. The Uganda government is issuing you recognized certificates that you can even use to apply for jobs wherever you go.
He encouraged the residents of Kamuli to seize opportunities presented by the Ugandan government in poverty eradication initiatives like the Myoga, the Parish Development Model, emphasizing their potential to enhance quality life.
As government, we have a couple of programs earmarked for your development. We have the Youth Livelihood Program, where money is given to young people. You go to the district and you have this money given to you without a land title. So you can move to the district today or tomorrow you go to the district commercial officer, ask him how do we access grow money, how do we access Youth Livelihood Fund. Then the women in business, like most of you, if you have learned how to bake, how to make soap, government has put money in private sector foundation, also under the Ministry of Gender. You can consult your district leader, the cow, to advise you how to access that fund so that you can use it to start your business. A young man in Arua was given 1 million. He sells watermelon and cabbage. But that young man, in the last 6 months, he has managed to raise 5 million shillings out of 1 million.
Following the speeches and addresses, the students were honored with certificates in various disciplines, making the culmination of their hard work and dedication through their studies.
Mutesa Christopher.
Thank you. God bless you. Congratulations.
It's now time for Today in History. Thank you for staying with us on Uctv this evening. It's now time for a break. When we return, it's the Rome Reports.
Uctv, good news for all.
Radio Patches, the best value-based community radio in Eastern Africa, running 24/7 with professional staff and solar energy backup of up to 500 kilowatts peak. We rock the whole of northern Uganda and the world using 7 languages on 90.9 FM and 94.5 FM in Arua on Ediofe Hill, 99.7 FM at Moyo on Adua Hill, 101.4 FM at Fogod in Gulu, and online at www.radiopatches.org or download the Radio Patches app from Google Play Store and Apple Store. Radio Patches, peace of Christ for all.
UCTV, good news for all.
Well, with that, we mark the end of our bulletin this evening. It has been nice having you. I am Nora Sende. Do have yourself a wonderful evening and a good night.